you're joining me in Paris, where I'm behind the wheel of a Kangoo ZE made by Renault. It's a small van in long wheelbase maxi format, and here is the key. But if I turn it, nothing happens. It's an electric van. It's weird turning a key in the way that this one does, completely conventional, and then having no starter motor or anything like that. All I can hear is the air conditioning fan blowing, and I've got a pretty normal looking dashboard display, and that's it. But if I put it into drive, or reverse in this case, because I'm parked in front of a moat, then it will just glide backwards silently. I think that these cars drive exceptionally well. I think the Kangoo is a lovely van to drive, and you'll enjoy driving it too, especially with this new electric powertrain. The Kangoo doesn't have quite the range of the Zoe, but it does have a 650 kilo payload, so it's fairly handy for the tradesperson. I think there's a 4 cubic meter capacity in the back there behind its barn doors, and there is a sliding door on both sides as well. It's not exactly cheap, but if you are going to charge it for free, your running costs will be pretty much zero. And if that energy is coming from renewable sources, then you'd say it literally is a zero emission, which is what ZE in the name stands for. This model has a heat pump. It's been recently updated, running 1234YF refrigerant. And there's a phone app that links with the car that means that when it's plugged in, you can preheat or pre-cool the cabin to save on the energy required to alter the temperature at the beginning. And then once it's up and running, it's reasonably efficient in terms of using your battery range up. I've just spent all morning driving the Zoe, which is a Yaris-sized hatchback that's also electric, and it can do about 300 kilometers on a single battery charge. I'm inclined to believe that claim because I've driven about 40 kilometers this morning, and it still says there are 250 k's left on the battery. That's pretty impressive going, and it is good fun to drive. It's very pokey. There's instant response from that electric motor, and I just came down a beautiful winding hill. The steering is beautiful. It's from the previous generation Clio RS, so it should be pretty good. And there's also the regenerative braking effect. So when you're coming down a hill, I got an extra 3 kilometers of range on the battery. Try doing that in a petrol car or diesel car. Apart from that, it's as quiet as you'd expect from an electric vehicle. You can get up to 110, 130 on the motorway, no worries. It just, it's completely seamless. Plenty of poke, especially for a car of its size. Rides pretty well, gets a bit brittle on some surfaces, but generally pretty acceptable on some broken pavement in the French capital. It's coming to Australia in November this year, so interesting times ahead.